If you are learning Python right now, you are probably asking questions yourself like, should I need to learn Django or FastAPI? Should I need to learn DSA? When should I have to start SQL? Do I really need AWS or any cloud platform to learn? And most importantly, how do I actually become a Python backend developer and get a job? I completely understand this confusion because I was also there too when I started. I spent a lot of time jumping between tutorials and learning random technologies without having a clear direction. So in this video I am going to give you a clear roadmap that I would follow if I had to start Python development in 2026. Hmm, Okay. In the first step, learn Python backend fundamentals. Before you think about learning any framework, understanding cloud services, or focusing on Python itself, a lot of beginners jump directly into the FastAPI or Django or any framework. Don't do that. Your foundation is very matter. So for that, you need to learn the fundamentals of programming language. You have to learn variables and data types, at least understand the different data structures, and also try to do some basic problems in lead code like platforms. Try to learn exception handling, file handling, and object oriented programming, and the principles of it. Okay. In this stage, you have to learn all the Python fundamentals. After learning the base, then you have to move on to the next part. Okay. In this part, we have to learn SQL and databases. Once you are comfortable with the Python, start learning databases because every application stores the data. For example, if we can see, Instagram stores the data of users and post data and everything, right? Amazon stores the inventory data of products. WhatsApp stores the messages. Like we have to work on mostly in data with the data, right? As a Python or any backend developer, we have to work mainly with the data. So try to learn the structured query language. In this, you have to understand what type of the different queries you have to learn. You have to learn like what is a database, what is a table, and you have to understand how to design a database and schema designing. Everything you need to know. Okay. And we have to understand the relationship between different tables and data. If you are strong at SQL, then you can stand out in most of the backend interviews. Then in the next step, we have to learn the backend development with using any framework. Here, I will recommend the FastAPI to build the faster applications. So for most of the in current modern era, most of the products are working on with the FastAPI to create AI applications. Why? Because it is faster. It is built on top of the Starlet and Pydantic. Okay. In this, we have to understood the REST APIs, GET request, POST request, PUT request, and DELETE request. And we need to understand the request validation with the FastAPI, authentication, and error handling. And we need to understand the connecting the APIs with the database. And also try to understand the communication, how is exactly the communication is moving from a client to the uh, server. Okay, how the data is fetching and formatting, that's what all we need to understand. Okay, then in the next step I would say most of the developers in the company uses GitHub to work with the teams. You in this GitHub, we need to understand the Git basics, what exactly is the repository, commits, and we need to understand the branches and how do we merge a branch, how do we have to resolve the merge conflicts in Git, and understand the basic Git commands to work within a project. Okay, like it will comes as a public portfolio. Recruiters often look at your projects before they even read your resume. A Git, a good GitHub profile can open opportunities for everyone. And in the next step, we need to learn cloud basics. Your application shouldn't live only on your local laptop. You should also need to deploy the application into production. So for that, you have to understand how the cloud services works. Start with AWS and with the EC2 instance for deploying applications. Understand the S3 bucket, how it works, and environment variables where we store those secret variables, and all the deployment related concept. Try to deploy one application at least, and understand the process within that, and share the application or live link with someone, or you can host it in your portfolio if possible. You can mention in your portfolio website, like. Okay, then in the next step we have to build the real projects after completing the AWS SQL database and Python programming. Then we have to start with the building real projects. This is probably the most important stage. Why? Because if you showcase your skills by creating projects, then the recruiters will reach out to you, and also it could be helpful for building the projects, and it shows you like how does the real-time experience will works, and it will really helpful for your real-time projects. I recommended building projects like to-do application, expense tracker, authentication system, healthcare management system, or anything. Okay, and every project should includes APIs, database integration, authentication, deployment, and everything within that. At initially, the first project feels very difficult. By doing multiple projects, we can feel easier, and you will also realize how much improve we by creating more projects. Then, in the next step, you should have to prepare for an interview. In this part, you should have to focus on more on Python interview questions and Django or FastAPI interview questions, and also try to learn SQL interview questions. If possible, try to understand the basic system design and how do we connect with from one service to another in microservices architecture. You have to understand. Do the problems in lead code or hacker rank. Okay. Understand different uh, parts of the project like developmenting and testing deployment. Okay. Start applying and attend for the interviews. While you will attend for any interview, you will get a rejection. From that rejection, you will get feedback. The more interviews you will attend, the better you will become. Okay. And my final thoughts are, if I had to become a Python backend developer from scratch in 2026, uh, this is exactly what I would do. First, master the Python basics and fundamentals, then learn about the databases, build APIs with a backend framework, learn Git and GitHub, understand the cloud basics, build the real-time projects and deploy them, stay consistent. Okay, you don't need to learn everything today itself. You have to learn one by one gradually. You don't need to be perfect also. You simply need to take the next step and keep moving forward. Yeah, that's all about the video. If you like this video, you can uh, you can share this video to your friends. If possible, try to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.